So it's theoretically started?
It's theoretically started.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I can get it up. That's what she said. There we go.
There.
Okay, let's do share. Let's see if I can.
You want me to go ahead and call
Yes, Rodneyna.
Rodneyna? Give her a
Is the sound on for Facebook or no?
Yeah.
Hey, Facebook Live. Start a little watch party too while I'm at it.
Hi, Rodneyna. I'm calling for your segment for Geaux Rouge with Franz. I'm going to go ahead and put you on hold. We're about to start, and as soon as we get to the show, Franz will pick you up for your segment. All right. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
How do I pick you up for your segment? Do I just press the button? Or do you just press the button? Broken flat in Baton Rouge. You know, I've wondered for a long time, Facebook, this whole concept of freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. What does that mean? What does it mean? Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. I feel like there's something there. I just don't get it. I don't understand. Byron Nichols is watching. Byron, give me a little love, man. Give me a little shout out.
So you said this is going to be 10 minutes?
2 minutes for intro, 10 and 10.
Okay.
So I'm following your lead, and I'm kind of keeping track of the time on my end too. And then we'll do a hard break. Well, I say hard break. I take a break, and then we take about a 2-second break, and then we start the second segment.
Yeah, Brian said give you a 5, a 2, and a 1 minute countdown.
That sounds great.
Okay.
And I'll sometimes be like,
Yeah.
this is how the magic happens, folks. You're getting a behind-the-scenes view.
Whether you want it or not.
Whether you want it or not, this is how the radio shows happen. So,
All right. Are you ready?
yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right. Let's get your music going.
Show, where host Franz Borghardt celebrates businesses and people who are making Baton Rouge a better place. From culture to business, from food to philanthropy, Geaux Rouge connects you to what and who is happening. Now, here's your host, Franz Borghardt.
All right. Welcome back to the Geaux Rouge Show, episode 33. This is your host, Franz Borghardt. Master Controls, Chuck P. Brian Haldane has a little time off. For those who were wondering, I've been gone for 2 weeks because I had the Rona.
The Rona.
I am a survivor, like a who sings the Survivor song? Is that Beyonce?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a Destiny's Child.
Destiny's Child. I am a survivor. I am 100%, if not 1,000% better. It is awesome to be back doing the Geaux Rouge Show. We have a full showcase of guests today. We have Miss Hart from the Louisiana State Museum. We have Mark Vincent from Rebel Graphix. In the second segment, we have Travis Robertson, and we're going to talk about masks and bow ties. And then we're gonna wrap everything up with Jackie Wilson from the Bakers for Black Lives movement, which is a phenomenal fundraising effort. And by the way, for those who are listening on Facebook Live, this is Black Restaurant Week. So your task is to find a Black-owned restaurant, go have some fun, go eat. I will be posting a list of restaurants on the Geaux Rouge channel or Facebook page. Knock yourselves out. We've got some phenomenal one. I'm going to suggest Memphis Mac.
It's a great choice.
Oh, my God, that barbecue is so good.
So good.
Before we jump into our first guest, the Geaux Rouge Show is brought to you by the following sponsors. The Smith Shanklin Sosa Law Firm, great personal injury law firm. Breck Parks, the Louisiana Tech Park, Sullivan's Steakhouse, and the Borghardt Law Firm. Thank you to all the sponsors we have who make the Geaux Rouge show possible. So with that being said, let's jump into our first guest. We have Rodneyna from the Louisiana State Museum. How's it going?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, so much better. So
I'm
awesome.
so glad to hear that.
So
I'm concerned about you.
I thank you. I appreciate people that are concerned about me.
Of
So
course.
I wanted to get you on the show 2 weeks ago, but obviously I couldn't do that. So the next best thing is you're my first guest since I've been back. So we got to talk about the Louisiana State Museum. So let's just jump on in. What's been going on?
Oh, well, we've been open to the public since phase one.
Okay.
We're trying to make sure that we're creating the most open and safe environment as possible. Fortunately, we are able to have up to 194 people in the museum because we are gigantic. You could
You're
go
huge.
through the entire museum and not see another person. So we're kind of an ideal space for this kind of time when people are looking for a safe public place to be. Of course, we're adhering to all of the phase two and making sure that people are social distancing. We're providing sanitizer and all of those fun things. But it's really good.
So as a COVID-19 survivor, I feel entitled to say the following. When you go to the State Museum, the Louisiana State Museum, please, please, please wear your mask.
Absolutely. Well, right now, everyone who's in a public place must wear their mask the entire time that they are in that space.
I could not agree more. I think it's
and if you forgot yours at home, we'll provide one for you.
I was just you stole my thunder. I was about to ask. So what happens if you don't bring a mask to the museum? Okay. So if I walk into the museum right now, talk to me a little bit about what's on display, what shows are going on, and tell me a little bit about how you got to those shows.
Absolutely. So as you know, our permanent spaces on the first floor, we cover the history of Louisiana. And it's everything from Louisiana at war. We've got the Louisiana Purchase. We have an entire shrimp boat on display. We've got a Civil War submarine, an area that covers Poverty Point and natural abundance of Louisiana, Sportsman's Paradise. We also have an area on civil rights and slavery and how that overlaps our state. And that's just the first floor.
Just the first floor.
Yeah. And then we have a special exhibition. It's a show about Spanish Town.
Okay.
And it's a bit on the history of Spanish Town, but especially Spanish Town Mardi Gras.
Awesome.
And then on our third floor, we cover Louisiana culture. So it's broken by different parts of the state. And you can explore the entire state in one building. There's a large area on Louisiana music and a large area on Louisiana Mardi Gras.
So 3 floors, all Louisiana, all culture. Let me ask you, based on your experience, if I were budgeting time to go and see as much as I can, how much time do you think it takes to go through all 3 floors?
Well, I'd recommend about an hour for your entire trip. But the most exciting thing that we have coming up is that on the 14th, we're opening a Fonville Winans exhibition. It's called A Colorful World in Black and White, Fonville Winans, Louisiana.
So tell me a little bit about that. Tell me.
Absolutely. So Fonville Winans was a beloved photographer who pretty much photographed Louisiana. Early in his career, he covered areas like Avery Island, Grand Isle, Crowley, some of New Orleans, and we have that featured in our exhibition. And then later in his career, when he moved to Baton Rouge, he mostly focused on portraiture. So he was the state photographer for a while, and he photographed lots of politicians and different notable figures in Louisiana. We also have a large section of the brides that he photographed.
Awesome.
And then we have an area where we have some of his original photography equipment. So we've got some cameras, developing equipment. We have this large and larger, it's some really cool objects. So we're really excited about that.
So this
and
show
have been working diligently towards it all year.
So this show opens July 14th.
Yes.
If I want, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're going to have a reception for it.
I was just about to ask that.
This will be an outdoor reception. We've got some food trucks that will provide the food. All of the announcements will be made outdoors. We've got music from some local students and an introduction by the director. And then the exhibition is upstairs. We also provide complimentary adult beverages.
I like it. So we've got about 2 minutes left. Before we head out, where would I go to get more information about the Louisiana State Museum and information about how I can get tickets and access to the museum?
Absolutely. So you can go to louisianastatemuseum.org and get all the information you need. And at that site, you can also purchase tickets online, so you can have a completely touchless experience. The tickets are $7 for adults and $6 for children, seniors, active military, and free for children 6 and under. We're open 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and the last ticket is sold at 3:30, just so that we have enough time to sanitize the building for the next day at the end of the day.
Well,
and we're open Tuesday through Saturday.
I am very excited about this July 14th show. I definitely will be in attendance. I will also share some wonderful information about the Louisiana State Museum on the Geaux Rouge Facebook page. Thank you, Rodneyna. Thank you so much for making some time for us. I am very excited that you guys are being a pillar of culture, art, education, and you're doing everything. And look, guys, if you're looking for stuff to do right now because of what's going on, this is one of those good things you can go do. You can spend an hour, you can spend several hours, and you can get some good Louisiana experience. Thank you, Rodneyna, so much for being our guest today, and we'll definitely have you back on, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you, Franz.
No problem. All right. I think it's time we go to the Louisiana State Museum, man. This is food trucks, reception. She's speaking my love language.
Yeah.
So our second guest today, one of my favorite organizations, one of my favorite businesses in Baton Rouge is Rebel Graphix, and Mark Vincent is my favorite go-to Rebel Graphix guy, and I wanted to have him on because their business model is shifted a little bit from signs, other cool stuff that they normally do. You imagine it, they can do it. But Mark is going to talk to us a little bit about how they are adapting in this COVID-19 world to do some different things to make our businesses a little safer. Mark, how's it going, buddy?
Good morning, Franz. How are you?
Dude, always great to have you on the Geaux Rouge show. Always appreciative of what Rebel Graphix does for the community. We don't do Geaux Rouge events without Rebel Graphix. So talk to me a little bit about what's going on and how you guys are adapting to help the Baton Rouge business community.
Sure, and I appreciate you having me on, Franz. Our company, as you mentioned, has shifted, as most other companies have during this pandemic, and our bread and butter truly is being an extension of, give you a scenario, an advertising agency. They have a client, They come in, they have a vision, the ad agency creates the logo, the design, and how they want to brand that client, and then we sort of bridge that gap and bring that vision to life through visual communications, whether it be through a vehicle wrap or a wall mural or what have you. But anything that basically can be printed or wrapped or signage-wise is kind of where we step in and where we shine. That's really what we love doing. We have so many creatives at the shop that's truly what we love to do. And with COVID and how it started with events being canceled and campaigns being put on hold and companies, quite frankly, not even knowing if they're going to have enough revenue to sustain being in business, it's shifted our company model and our business model into more keeping employees safe
Right.
and confident when they come back to work that they'll have things in place through acrylic sneeze guards and counter barriers and cubicle barriers that the employees can feel safe by coming in, that their space is secured, their employer cares about them, the customers understand that the business has gone through the effort in trying to keep them safe while they're shopping with them. So it's shifted. You know, fortunately for us, we have the equipment to be able to route a lot of acrylic material pretty quickly. And
Okay.
we've got great vendors that we've established over the years that our stream of our supply chain has been healthy. Now, the world of acrylic has evolved, but we have such good relationships that they sort of keep us at the top of the list. And that's just from doing it the right way, as much as possible with companies. When you pay your bills on time and when you do things the right way and things like that, you get preferential treatment. So
Right.
we've got great vendors that are keeping our supply chain filled, and we've been rocking and rolling. I mean, as the sales manager for the company, it's not something that I can tell you I jump up for joy every morning when I get out of bed, like, oh man, I get to sell more sneeze guards. But when you look at it in the sense of my efforts will help keep people employed at the shop, and it will keep our clients, it'll keep their employees feeling safe, being healthy, and those types of things, it kind of gives you perspective as to what you're doing and why you're doing it. So it kind of, you have to get out of yourself and what you're passionate about, what you're doing, and just look at it in a way of, this truly is helping. This really is making a difference. You may not love it, and you may not, it's not the creative side that you're usually accustomed to with bringing these campaigns to life, but it's still a necessary tool in where we are in fighting this pandemic and keeping people safe.
So it's just a matter of time. By the way, let's just call it what it is. It's just a matter of time before I call you and say, I want a Geaux Rouge custom acrylic shield.
And we can do that.
You totally could do that. All joking aside, let's talk about the practical side of this. So
Sure.
business contacts you and says, hey, I hear you guys make some great safety measures for my business, whether it's a coffee shop or restaurant. And we've seen these shields at different businesses, right? I've gone to Circle K and I've seen them. I've gone to different coffee shops and I've seen them.
Yep.
Walk me through the process of determining, okay, your space, this is what your space is, determining how and what the business customer needs and what the consumers will need to protect them. Because what you're really doing is you're protecting the employees and you're protecting the community so that business and commerce can keep happening. So how do you make these determinations?
So because every situation is different, they'll usually have a good idea as to what they want because they've already had the meetings, they've already done the collaboration, and they'll give us a buzz or send us an email and say, hey, this is what we're looking for. We don't have it all completely worked out, but we have a good idea. Can somebody come out and take a look? And we'll do that.
Right.
We'll go do that consultation. We won't charge for that. And it's usually pretty simple to figure out, yep, you need a counter desk card, a desk shield, a barrier, and I'll just hold up a tape measure for them. 24 inches tall would suffice, but would you like to go higher? And it kind of depends on if somebody's going to be sitting, if somebody's going to be standing, how much traffic that area is going to get. Do they need a little pass-through for papers to be able to be passed through? Like I just did a consultation at the dealership the other day for their service advisors and for their parts manager and things like that. So every situation is different. You'll need floor decals. Sort of, if you're in a retail business, we service community CC's Coffee and all of their locations. So we did all the floor decals in there
And
to
when
keep people
not to
6 feet
interrupt
apart.
Not to interrupt you, but floor decals, what we're talking about, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the X marks the spot of social distancing, so to speak, right?
Yep, that's correct.
So
we've done them for CC's Coffee, which is a retail setting. We've done them for LSU Vet School, which, as you can imagine, animals are still getting sick during this pandemic, and so they still need to see their vet and see their emergency veterinarian there. And the whole idea is keeping people 6 feet apart. So I think, for the most part, people are already trained that they see something on the ground, they know I have to stay there. So you really don't need anything really obnoxious and 24 inches in diameter, just something small to mark. Please wait here, keep your distance, and you can brand it. So if the client doesn't have a specific idea on what they want it to look like, they can just give us a general idea. And we have graphic designers on staff that are highly talented in their craft and are still, thirsting to tap into their creative abilities and design them for them. So we take care of that. We don't even charge any extra for basic designs, unless it's really in depth that we're doing. That's we would consider that a basic setup, and we don't even charge for that.
I think it's important to remind everybody that you guys are still doing signage. You're still doing your bread and butter. You may not be doing as much. You may be transitioning, and as I said, figuring out how to be disruptive and adaptive in this COVID-19 world. But I got to tell you, there's not a day that goes by where I don't have some part of Rebel Graphix in my life. And I will tell everybody, as you guys know, the Borchardt Law Firm is a sponsor of this show. That's my day job, Mark. Yep. And if you walk into the Borchardt Law Firm, the first thing you're going to see is a bronze plaque designed by Rebel Graphix. It says Borchardt Law Firm on it. And from simple things like that to signage that may have a message on it. You guys were in the creative, inspirational messaging business for a hot minute, and you still are. I know that I jokingly tell Mark every once in a while, hey, I need a sign that says something inspirational, and I'll send a little inspirational message to it. So we got about a minute or two left, Mark. If they want to get if the listeners want to get more information about Rebel Graphix and how to get in touch with you, where will they go?
Sure, and I want to be as accessible to anyone that wants to get information. Feel free to call my cell. It's 225-315-4199. Call me, send me a text, or you can email the general email, which several people get and check off very often throughout the day. That email address is info, I-N-F-O, at Rebel Graphix, REBELGRAPHIX. Again, that email address is info, I-N-F-O, at rebelgraphix.com, and that's graphics with an X. Or reach me directly on my cell, 225-315-4199.
Mark, thank you guys. Thanks, Rebels Graphix, for everything you're doing to make the community safe, secure. You guys are both a part of making events happen, but also making our community accessible. Thank you so much for being on the show. We'll definitely have you on again, and God bless.
Appreciate it, Franz. God bless you, too.
All right. So we're wrapping up our first segment of the Geaux Rouge Show. For more information on the Geaux Rouge Show, go to www.geauxrouge.com or email us at info@geauxrouge.com. Stick around. We're going to take our first break, and we'll be back with Travis Robertson and Jackie Wilson. All right. Dude, I like it. I want to live in a shield world. So is it too soon? Let's talk masks. So I'm a big proponent, as someone who's had COVID, I'm a big proponent of people wearing masks. Is it too soon to get custom masks?
No, it's not. I have a ABV podcast custom mask.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Why don't you have a Geaux Rouge custom mask?
Because here's the thing.
You would be the first person I would think of with your branding.
We're going to talk about this tomorrow on the radio in Brian Haldane's spot. But I got to tell you, part of it is not wanting to be tone deaf to what's going on. And so is a custom mask going to come across as, man, come on. But in the same breath, like Travis is going to talk in our second segment, Travis is going to talk about transitioning from bow ties to masks. And Travis has some fantastic masks that I also wear as bow ties.
There you go.
So, I mean, there is something to be said about customizing. No, we live in a custom world.
There's nothing wrong with it. Look, there's a lot of people I know that have customized masks, that have special ordered like Marvel superhero mask or Star Wars mask. Yeah. There's some of the girls that work here that like have LSU Tiger mask.
I want an Iron Man. Like, I'm an Iron Man fan. I want an Iron Man mask.
I couldn't tell with those headphones you got.
Oh, dude, it's all right. So Facebook Live, thank you guys for listening. We're about to jump into our second segment. Chuck's going to give us some great bump music. Dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice. All right.
So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome to the second segment of the Geaux Rouge radio show. You're listening on Facebook Live or on Talk 107.3. This is episode 33. This is your host, Franz Borchardt. I'm here with Master Controls, Chuck P. We're listening to a little Back in Black. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. I had to sit out for 2 weeks based on this COVID-19 thing. We were talking masks the first segment. We're going to talk about masks the second segment. Do us all a favor. This is my service, my public service announcement from me to you. Please wear a mask. As someone who is, yes, please. As someone who has had this horrible virus, and I had a mild case of it, it sucks. Wear a mask, please. All right. So before we jump into Travis and Jackie, the Geaux Rouge Show is brought to you by the following sponsors: Breck Parks, Louisiana Tech Park, the Borchardt Law Firm, Sullivan's Steakhouse, and, of course, the Smith Shanklin Sosa Law Firm. These guys, by the way, if you have business interruption claims, these are the guys you need to call. They'll help go through your insurance policies. These are also the go-to personal injury firm for the Geaux Rouge Show, so definitely want to keep them in your back pocket for when you need a good civil firm. Our first guest in the second segment of this show is Travis Robertson. Travis, you there?
Yes, I am.
So Travis and I know each other because I have a thing for bow ties, and part of my bow tie, I don't want to say fetish. That's the wrong word. Bow tie addiction.
No, you got it. That's right.
Okay, so part of my bow tie thing is fed by the great skills of Travis Robertson. Travis, in your side hustle, you own a little company that makes bow ties, right?
Correct.
So what's the name of that company?
It's TR Bow Ties, or Travis Robertson Bow Ties.
So some of the best bow ties I wear are Travis's bow ties. Now, normally, if I wanted to get my hands on these bow ties, I would see you at the Main Street Market on a Saturday, right?
Correct.
But COVID's kind of changed all of our lives a little bit, and you decided, you've done a couple of different things, right? You got into the sewing for the community and for charity business, but to the point, and I in fact wore one of your nice cool masks today into the Talk 107.3 studio. I'm going to show it to the camera. You're in the mask business now too, right?
Yes, I am. I shifted gears from bow ties to the mask so I can just try and help out the community.
So as someone who was making bow ties, talk to me about the transition to making masks. Was it something difficult to figure out how to do?
Yes, it was. It was very difficult because, first off, how do you make a mask that fits someone? How do you make a mask that's ideal for breathability and comfort? That's and everybody seems to have different ways to make a mask. The CDC has their recommendations, and then crafters like me around the country were always trying to come up with something a little bit better, coming up with a better fit. So it was just trying to find that right design. And so some of the masks that I made, I tried to go on more of a higher end approach to it, to try to make I call it just a fancy mask that's just well constructed to fit the face.
So,
and more of the chin strap and then the way the contour of the face. It's a work, but it's a lot of effort.
So typically at any given time, I think I have about 3 to 4 of your masks, Travis. Mm-hmm. So talk to me a little bit about, okay, so, and we were talking in the first segment, we're going to talk about it now. We were talking about this idea of people don't want to just wear masks right now. They want to wear a little bit of customization. They want the LSU mask, they want the artsy mask. You are a master at taking fabrics and creating art with them. If I wanted to get more information and see a little bit of the spectrum of your masks, where would I go, Travis?
I would, let's see, probably on my Instagram webpage.
And what is that page?
It is, sorry, I'm kind of I'm trying to think.
Okay.
It's just, you can probably go to, you go to badboybowties.com, I think it'll take you there.
Badboysbowties.com. I love it!
Yeah. Or, and I had to check the account, but I think it's just Travis Robertson. Search for Travis Robertson on Instagram. I think you can find it.
So what's the average cost of one of these custom masks?
The average cost, I have about $35.
Okay.
For the higher end, but I have been trying to make like some of the lower end masks. When I say lower end, just the typical medical face mask.
Right.
Because I thought that we would be done with the mask. I thought that
We all thought we'd be done with the masks.
Right. So now my goal is to try and make like 100 to 200 of these masks.
Okay.
And so that's, because I can get them out pretty quick and try to have an affordable mask like for like $10.
So it's important to remember, like the mask I showed everybody on Facebook Live, it's a map of France. And in fact, I think it's a map of...
that was beautiful fabric.
Oh, it's very cool. If I wanted to wash and iron this mask, I could do that, right?
Yes.
Okay. And in fact, that is... I want to make sure everybody understands the difference between like your mask and a surgical mask is surgical mask at some point, or medical mask at some point, I'm going to throw that thing away. I can wash it, but at some point it's going to get gross. This mask, I can wash it. And by the way, recommendations on how to wash these masks.
I recommend just hand washing them.
Okay.
And just letting them air dry on a towel.
I like it. So
that way, it's not being wrung out like a rag.
Right.
Yeah.
So now this is different than what you were talking about, which is kind of like the $10 mask, which is more something a little bit more, I don't want to say affordable because I don't find there would be a problem with a custom mask being about $25 to $35. But these $10 masks are more to the comment, I guess the more to the category of, okay, this is a little bit simpler. This is a little bit more plain Jane.
Right.
And look, I walk around at any given time. I have masks at my office, Travis, that I can give people, which are just basic medical masks. I have the mask that I like to wear, which, I mean, the one I was wearing yesterday was the skull and crossbones one that you made, which was awesome. It literally has a pirate feel to it. And we were talking earlier. So here's a question for you. Travis, if I find a good fabric that I love, can I get the fabric and get it to you and get you to custom make it if it's durable enough?
Yeah, I try to do that for anybody.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So last time, Travis, anything else going on, and where can people get in touch with you?
Facebook or Instagram would be the best way to get a hold of me. And I missed the market so much because it was so convenient. I could just be there. And so like everybody, we're all having to make adjustments to this COVID.
Well,
so
I am looking forward to you being back at the market. I love seeing pictures of you selling and slinging bow ties. I wear your bow ties when I go to court, when I actually get to wear suits and dress up. I love wearing your bow ties, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show, man. You're being a big part of what I got going on, and I will definitely have you back on here.
My pleasure. You take care.
All right, Travis.
Stay safe, everybody. All right. Bye-bye.
How often do you wear a tie, Chuck?
Never.
Okay, so I went from wearing a bow tie in pre-COVID. I went from wearing a bow tie every single day, court 4 to 5 days a week, to I've had court once in the last 2 months. And when I say I've had court, I went in, I had a mask on. So now, ironically, when I wear one of Travis's bow ties, I normally, in fact, have one of his face masks on as well. But I got to tell you, man, this guy, Travis Robertson, is a beautiful artist when it comes to custom bow ties, custom masks. You definitely want to check him out. Our next guest on the Geaux Rouge show is the very talented Jackie Wilson from the movement, the Bakers for Black Lives. Jackie, how's it going?
Hey, it's going well. How are you?
So I am fortunate. I have a mutual friend of yours, Miss Sarah, who makes awesome baked goods, Sarah Gardner. She connected us, and I want to talk about the Bakers for Black Lives. So what is that? What is that movement? Talk to me a little bit about it.
So, she reached out to a few of us, I guess about a month or so ago, and she just basically asked if we wanted to collaborate and band together and, to make goods and sell them and raise money for the Black Lives Matter movement. So we pretty much all of us had already made a statement or somehow on our social media had kind of like said, yeah, we support Black Lives Matter, or we did a cookie or something. And so we all just kind of made an effort to create designs, or, everybody has something different. Cakes, I do cookies. And so we were like, yeah, we're going to band together, make some cookies and our goods and sell them to raise money. And so it's been really awesome just being able to have the support. I think personally for me, it was awesome because it's one thing to make a statement, but then when you feel like you have others supporting you and making that statement with you, it really gives you the support that you need, because, of course, not everybody is making the same statement or speaking up.
Right.
And so being able to have each other was just so amazing, and it's been really awesome so far.
So let's take a step back, Jackie. Jackie, you are, in fact, the baker, right?
Yes.
And your company is what?
It's called Jackie's Sweet Shake.
And your expertise in this movement is more cookies, right?
Yes.
Okay. How many other bakers are participating in this the Bakers for Black Lives?
So right now we have 9.
Awesome.
We started out with 6, and then anyone who wants to join can join. So in the past few weeks we've had 3 more join, so now we have 9 bakers. That's
awesome. And look, the concept is easy, right? As a consumer, I buy one of your delicious cookies, and a percentage of that goes to helping Black Lives Matter, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I mean, it couldn't be more simple, right? I get to eat something delicious. Right. And okay. So to date, roundabout, Jackie, how much money have you guys raised thus far?
So we've raised about half of our goal, so about $5,000 so far.
Okay.
Yep.
So
our goal is $10,000.
So we need to get another 5 raised. Let's talk a little bit about how the consumer, you and me, well, you're not a consumer, you're a baker. Let's say Chuck and Chuck P is on master controls right now. Let's say Chuck and I decide, hey, I want some fantastic baked goods, and I want to help the community a little bit while I'm at it. Where would I go? Where would I go on social media? Where would I go website-wise to get a catalog of these baked goods and my options?
Yeah, sure. So we created a website, Bakers for Black Lives. I think it's .com. And so everybody can go there and basically see all of the bakers who are participating. And it's really kind of like, that's the one-stop shop pretty much. But even if you follow like us directly, you can go to our website directly as well. I know for me personally, I still have my Black Lives Matter cookies up. I'm selling them indefinitely.
I like it.
So if anybody buys them, I'm just going to donate at the end of each month.
Okay.
And I know some people were kind of doing it for the Juneteenth weekend. I kind of decided I'm just going to do it forever. This is something that I believe in. So I just keep them up on my website. But I know that you can go to bakersforblacklives.com, and then you can kind of like see everybody that's doing it.
So what's interesting to me, Jackie, is, look, people are giving back to this movement in different ways, right? Some people are marching, some people are protesting, some people are raising money. What's interesting to me is you guys came up with a sweet, no pun intended, well, I guess some pun intended, a sweet idea on, hey, this is something I do for a living. This is my way of giving back. I mean, and look, I'm just going to stick with you for a minute. Cookies are good for the soul. This is, I mean, cookies. I mean, I've never met a human being, Jackie, that's like, I don't like cookies. Like Sesame Street has a character devoted to the love of cookies.
You can't trust those people.
Right. I don't, like, it's like somebody saying I don't dig hamburgers. I don't trust, I mean, that's not American.
Right.
Don't need them in my life.
So Jackie, I guess my question is I want to dig a little deeper. We've got time. I want to dig a little deeper into, man, how did you guys make this decision of this is how I'm going to give back? Because, I mean, this is just brilliant. I love this. This is brilliant. And look,
Thank you. Yeah.
and look, as the founder of Geaux Rouge, many people will tell you, Jackie, I love a good old-fashioned fundraising event that's tied to food. I mean, I'm on board with that solution to any problem. So how did you guys come up with this?
So really, Sarah was the one who spearheaded everything. She's amazing with batch baking company.
Right.
I think, she pretty much just said, okay, we all want to do something. We're all speaking up. Let's do something. And so I really got to give her credit, for that. That was something that she just said, let's do this, and I think at the time everything was happening so quickly. And
right.
I remember I personally was like, I want to do something, but I don't know what.
Right.
And so it just kind of was like a perfect opportunity. And I know for me personally, my husband has an autoimmune disease, so we're not going to be out there protesting because of COVID. And so for us, it was perfect because I said, I want to do something. Here's this opportunity. And it was really good just with this time, being able to do something that was safe, being able to use my talents and to give back to the community. And so, she got us all together and then just kind of create. It literally was insane. It felt like overnight. We had this website. We had all these bakers giving. We created these designs. So it all happened really quickly. But.
So what I like about the baking community here, and little known fact about Franz Borchardt, my first real job, I worked as a baker at Ambrosia Bakery. Little known fact, I was in high school. I was in a high school. I can bake some bread. I can bake some cookies. I can do cake. So what I like about this is you guys are in competition, but not for this. This is something you're all working together on in your own individual ways. And so, Jackie, I got to know, what's the number one cookie that sells? What type of cookie?
So for me, my bestseller is just my standard vanilla cookie. For this particular, thing that we did, I had this one cookie that had 6 different skin tones.
Oh my!
And it was all these faces, and it was really, really cool. And it said, "Enough is enough." And there was another one that said, "We're more beautiful when we come together." And so that one was my best seller. But my classic vanilla, it's kind of like a shortbread, but we call them sugar cookies, but it tastes more like a shortbread. It is so good. It melts in your mouth.
So Jackie,
I love it.
So Jackie, we got about 2 minutes left. Thank you for the Bakers for Black Lives movement and the work you're doing. If I wanted to get more information about your tasty cookies, where would I go? Give us the website. Give us the information. You're on social media?
Yeah, I have Facebook. I have Instagram. I have a website. It's www.jackiesweetshapes.com. And real fast, if I order cookies, are they pickup? Are they delivery? How does that work? So I am shipping right now. We actually just moved to Florida recently. So while all my ties are in Baton Rouge, right now I'm in Florida, so I've been shipping them.
Well, you know what? Even though this is the Celebrate Baton Rouge show, I'm going to celebrate you for doing this great thing. And your cookies sound fantastic, by the way.
Thank you.
Jackie, thank you again. The Bakers for Black Lives, thank you for coming on the show, and you guys keep it up, and you're going to get to your $10,000 goal, okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
No problem.
It's been a pleasure.
All right. So we got a little bit of time left. This has been episode 33. Man, it is so awesome to be back doing radio. I've missed it.
Good to have you back, sir.
Thank you, sir. You don't realize how addictive this whole entire radio thing is until you can't. You're sidelined for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm going to be covering, for those who are listening now, I'm going to be covering for Brian Haldane tomorrow and Thursday. I'm taking over. Brian's out. I'm in. At least for 2 days.
Yeah,
at least for 2 days. 2 days. So, look. Before we go, more information on the Geaux Rouge show, go to www.geauxrouge.com. All our episodes, all our social media, all our blogs, all of that is on the website. You can also get to our YouTube channel. We got a YouTube channel.
Nice, okay.
Right. I get excited about YouTube like I get excited about cookies. So YouTube channel, Geaux Rouge channel. And look, last but not least, if you have show topics, Chuck, or anybody else out there that you want us to cover, It's real simple. Email me at info@GauxRouge.com. And if it's a good entity, organization, or person doing some fantastic stuff for Baton Rouge, they're going to be on the show. With that being said, that's about it for this episode. I mean, we're about out of time, right? I mean, we got
about a minute or so.
Okay, well, we can hang out for a second.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just,
Maybe,
So what I really
Catch up.
what I really want to do, and maybe next week, I want to. So I have this thing.
okay.
I like to take the best of 225 magazine, and Chuck and I are going to do this on Brian Haldane's show either Wednesday or Thursday. I haven't decided yet, but we may do it on the Geaux Rouge show. A tour of are these businesses really the best of Baton Rouge 225? Now, look, I'm not against democracy. I'm on board with democracy. I love the people voting for what they believe to be the best of whatever. That being said, sometimes, and look, I make a living off bad decision making. So sometimes I just like to chat about, like, how did this restaurant get left out or didn't make it? I like to talk about the vote margins because, like, sometimes it's really close, right?
Sometimes it is.
Dude, best burger in Baton Rouge right now, it's a tie.
Yeah.
Burger Smith, curbside. How does that happen?
It's
What
insane.
are the odds of that happening? So
Let me ask you your thoughts. I'm gonna bring up one category that we discussed on the JD Cody show yesterday. I
Sure.
want your thoughts on it. So, best chicken sandwich.
I don't see how Blue Store gets that.
Well, Blue Store. Well, if Blue Store would have had a chicken sandwich, they would have won it.
Sure, but they don't have a chicken
But
sandwich.
they don't. But the winner of the chicken sandwich, best local chicken sandwich, was Raising Cane's.
Okay, I've got problems with that.
Yes,
And
thank
it's
you.
not that they don't have a good chicken.
No, they don't have a good chicken sandwich.
Well, but
But it's a chicken tender sandwich.
you've got curbside, you've got Overpass Merchant. I think Chow Yum even has a chicken sandwich.
Yes.
I mean, so I'm religious and militant about my chicken sandwiches.
as you should be.
And look, guys, I'm also on a low carb diet, so when I eat fried chicken,
You
it's
wanna
a
enjoy
special occasion.
Yes.
Now, look, if you said best chicken in Baton Rouge, I'm on board with you saying best fried chicken. Blue Store. Chicken Shack.
Chicken Shack would be my choice for best fried
Okay.
chicken.
I'm
Best
a-
fried chicken sandwich, I would probably give it to. It would be a toss up between Overpass or Curbside.
So what we're going to do, Chuck, is I'm going to get you on as a guest next week if you're available. You're a busy guy.
I live here pretty
So
much.
I'm going to get you on a guest, and we're going to have a little powwow about 225 best of. Folks, we're really out of time. So have a great week. Chuck P., thank you for doing Master Controls. This is Franz Borkhardt. God bless, and I'll see you guys next week.